Hey, welcome back to Yogi's Garage. We are back on the Lamborghini Jurama project, and this is a 400 GT to be exact, with a V12 and 6 carburetors. It showed up in Yogi's Garage with a blown head gasket, and I had to tear this thing down all the way to the crank. So after months of sourcing parts and sourcing gaskets, I finally have to put this thing back together somehow. Fortunately, because so much time had passed between disassembling the engine and receiving the replacement parts, that I was able to teach myself Italian, find an Italian workshop manual and translate it to English, and my hair literally turned from brown to gray. So here we are, the first round of parts are here, and the next phase of the project has begun: assembly. And my intentions with this video is to just let it run long. So this is going to be a very long video, guys, and there's going to be a lot of time lapse, but enjoy the show. There's going to be a lot of commentary between me and my new assistant, Alyssa. So let's get busy. Are you ready? Let's fix it. All right, so the first step in my assembly process is to get everything clean. And you saw in the previous video, I already got the engine block clean over there. It still needs to be stripped down and prepped. But the next thing I need to do is get these pistons numbered permanently, because they're gonna take a diesel bath, and when that happens, they're gonna get, mixed up. So we need to make sure that they're all accounted for. So I'm looking for different kinds of ways, and I'm trying different ways with a punch, maybe etching on it right there. You can see the X. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm just going to etch the information on the connecting rod and on the bottom end, and so I remember which orientation they go in, just like the main bearings right here. So I'm going to get all this stuff labeled, and then I'm going to dump it in my diesel bath and get all of the carbon off of this thing to get it ready. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to give this thing a carb cleaner bath, to get the remaining metal flakes and the remaining metal material off of all of that surface. Thanks, Marshall. Dude, let me tell you, the diesel fumes are legit, no joke. You'll see halfway through this time lapse, I'll actually put on a full chem gear, if you will, full ventilator mask, both gloves. It just gets too toxic for me. And once Alyssa comes on board, I made her do the same exact thing. She wasn't happy about it, but she figured it out later. This is why. You're welcome. At some point leading up to this moment, I spray painted the engine block gunmetal silver per the customer's request, and I'm finally taking the paint off. So just leave the masking tape on there. It protects the cylinder bores, I always say. I don't actually always say that, but now I'm going to. All right, now that we got this engine block upside down, I can get the crank back in. But before I do that, obviously I've got to clean everything in here. All of the bearing surfaces have to be completely clean of metal. And it's going to take a lot of patience and a lot of cleaning. And you have to use a carb cleaner, right? Or something as strong as this, because brake cleaner just won't cut it. And you'll be struggling to get the metal off of the surface, right? Because even though this thing was clean, there's still bits of oil and metal, and this needs to be pristine, right? We need to get this thing super clean. All right, so that's the goal. Carb clean, paper towels, and then I'm gonna finish it off when I'm ready to put the bearings down. Task wipers. These are dust free. So that's the trick here. That's the trick. Kimtech task wipes will keep this surface dust free while I am putting the bearings in. All right, let's do it. All right, these are the new bearings, and these here on this side go to the connecting rods, and these are the main bearings on the crankshaft. And give you some examples of what a new one versus an old one looks like. Take a look at this. This is from a connecting rod. You can see the copper color underneath, so a lot of wear going on here. Here's another example right here. So you see that? So yeah, these need to be replaced. Now on the main bearings, these aren't too bad, except that they have scratches on the journal surface, so that obviously has to be replaced. But you can take a look at the difference here in the color, which is a key indicator that this guy got cooked. Cooked in the sense where it was cooked by steam. So another thing to point out is on these, you'll note that the bearings are slightly different. In other words, there's a channel on the bearing that goes all the way to the top here, all the way to the edge, whereas here it does not. So I'm gonna have to inspect that and see what's going on. Oh yeah, it's time to reintroduce these two fellows together. They haven't seen each other in months, but I'm sure they'll get reacquainted really quickly.
And then I said, take a dinosaur bone.
A Cuban bone?
No, a human.
Oh.
I said, take a Cuban bone.
I have to jump in here and say, that's Alyssa's voice, and I haven't introduced anybody to her at this point. Later on in this video, I'll introduce her like it's the first time, and it messes with the space-time continuum, so I apologize for that.
Oh, we're just talking. Oh.
All right, today's the day. We're gonna get the crank right back into this engine after about 4.5 months of waiting. The time has come, but since he's been sitting around in this shop, it's been collecting more and more dust and debris. So I got to give it a once over one more time because again, you rub a finger on it and it should not come back with anything. This is not a Fiat. So. I said that on purpose.
I'm not the one that ruined my Porsche engine with Porsche
I did not ruin my Porsche power.
So
My Porsche power. Shots fired. Shots fired. All right, we're going to be using this because this is the only thing that's going to help cut through any of the grease and grime that's left on these journals. Because the brake cleaner won't cut it, but this certainly will. So I'm going to use my Kim wipes. Like I've mentioned before, these are dust-free task wipes. And these in particular are not task wipes. Somebody stuffed these in there. But these are task wipes. They're thin. They don't collect any dust, and they're meant for medical equipment, assembly, and things like that. So this is perfect for what we're doing. All right, let's get started. I'm just going to start cleaning. Yeah, I'll let you mess up. All right, so next up are the bearing caps, right, on the crank. So I believe these are cleaned, but they need to be cleaned again because I can already see oil buildup on it. So I'm going to drench all of these in some carbon choke cleaner, and then I'm going to use the regular wipes here just to give it a basic clean, and then we'll go through the surgical process here. So just want to give them a nice little bath. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. I'm actually getting pretty nervous. This is a big deal. Marshall will fire me if I don't get this done right. I'm already fired, but I mean, I'll be more fired.
I mean, that's a very good possibility. I will say, word to the wise, don't self-tapper your finger.
Ooh, that's nasty. Yes. You can see the thrust washer is still stuck on this one, but we're replacing these. So this can come out. I think it's just, yeah, it's oil sealed to it. You see that? Yeah, no big deal. But it's good to know that the thrust washer's on the end. I mean, I knew that, but you didn't. So I know you're probably asking, how am I going to put this together? Am I just going to guess on the torque specs? No, actually, I have a Lamborghini workshop manual for this car. but it was in Italian, and I've spent the last 4 months translating it. No, I'm just kidding. I used AI, but it still sounds cool. But I had to work with AI and give it the right commands to give me the right language and the right format. But nevertheless, yeah, it translated it for me, and now I have one. So if anybody out there needs a workshop manual for any of the 60s and 70s Dioramas, Espadas, any of those, hell, I think maybe even a Mura. I have to double check that because the engine's the same. No, the engine's a V8 in the Mura. I don't know. I have to look that up. Okay, so this is what it's going to take. I'm going to do more cleaning, and then we'll do our thing. Let's do it. All right. So even though these came straight from the factory, they still need to be clean, right? Let me show you. Take your brake carb cleaner. Check this out. Uptown fool. Look at that. See? That's a no-no. These got to be clean too. All right, I'm gonna try to record this over the sound of that Fiat 850 over there trying to get timed. But what I'm doing here is there we go. What I'm doing here is basically a dry run, making sure all the bearings fit, everything lines up, nothing looks weird. Everything looks great, and I'm super happy with this part of it. So now what I gotta do is obviously take out all the bearings and do it again, and then we slap the crank in and start taking some measurements. Okay, I'm trying to concentrate here. I'm using Permatex Ultra Slick, but you can also use the Driven stuff. I don't know, I like red. Red's my favorite color. And I'm using an acid brush. Just be real careful with these acid brushes because they like to shed. So you'll have to come back and deal with that after if you see any. Not a big deal, but you don't want any abrasives on a first start. Okay, so here we go. I'm putting on the bearing grease here, assembly grease, and I'm not. It's cool in here, so you can be pretty liberal with this stuff. There's no reason why you shouldn't be. And action. Ready?
Come from the top.
Yeah. Okay. And damn.
It's in?
It's in. It's in now. Okay, so here comes the part that's not fun for anybody, but it has to be done, and that is to measure the clearance between the journal and the crank, or the bearing and the crank. And you use something like this called plastic gauge, and basically it's a little thin piece of wax or something that will compress when you put the caps on and you torque them down. And then when you remove the cap, it leaves a smear on the journal itself so that you can measure it to see if it falls within specification. And this is critical, right? Because you just can't throw bearings in there on an engine that you're not completely familiar with when it comes to the original sizes of the bearings, the original sizes of the bores. This will verify everything for you so that you're not flying blind, if you will. Okay, right there. Can you see what I'm doing? Mm-hmm. See that little green thing? Where's my cleaning stuff here? Come on, thank you. All right.
Where's the green piece?
Hmm?
Where's the green piece?
I'm gonna be putting this bearing cap on,
Right.
and I want to make sure it's like super clean first, right? Because we're taking measurements.
Okay. And you said look at the green thing.
Yeah, that little thing, because I'm about to put this on right here.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then just give it a little love tap. The seat. Okay, sounds like we're on. And then I'm gonna do this for the next 2. So I have one more here, and actually 3. Here, here, and here to check all the clearances between. No contamination, just a little tiny green thing. All right, you're recording, right? Okay. Number 5. All right. Check, clean the bearing again. See, it's fucking dirty, man. There, now that's clean. No dirt came back. So that's 5. Okay. Love taps. There it goes. Okay. Couple more. You ever done this before?
Not this part, no.
There. So you can see just the caps are being measured. Yep. And then grab another one. So again, I want to show you this so that you know how important it is to clean these bearings. So watch. So I've already cleaned them like 3 or 4 times, but the final cleaning,
That's not good.
watch this. See that? That is still dirty, right? And it's just the way it is. You just keep going at it until it comes back clean. Because even these little specks of dirt can throw the measurements off by 1/1000th of an inch.
So you're like a surgeon.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the heart of the car, right? So,
Nice metaphor there.
you like that?
Yeah.
Still dirty.
And we don't like dirty.
No dirty.
That makes problems
And really
for us
what it-
later.
What it is, I think, is just the machining material still lingering on these bearings. Okay, that's good. Number 6. And I torque all these down, then I gotta take them all off and then lube everything up. Okay, one more. You can come around this way. You can get it from this angle.
Sure.
Don't go falling now.
When do I do that? I mean,
Never.
only the threshold that's there, you know.
All right, so you're gonna get in right tight on this shot right here.
Actually, let me do that. That'd be perfect.
So lay that down like so, like that. Then you take your bearing.
Very particular.
Uh-huh. Give it another clean, clean, clean.
I mean, Mr. Yogi, that's me.
Mr. Yogi cleaning.
Mr. Yogi is now professional maid.
Yeah.
Maid. What do you
See,
call it?
still-
Maid? Just a maid?
Maid, just a
Okay.
maid, yeah. Or you know what you call a male maid? Single. No?
Dirty.
Dirty, because he's not gonna clean. That's right.
You call him. Kitties.
All right, here we go. Number 7. There. And if you notice, the numbers are all facing the rear. This is the rear of the engine. And I had to actually go through my video files to remember which direction these go. All right, so now I'm just gonna put all the bolts on and torque it, twerk it, and then.
You mean torque it, not twerk it.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
You just twerk it.
Yes. Well, demonstrating what not to do. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna do it again. It's one of them one-time things.
See my white girl dance?
I want to see your white girl dance.
No.
Oh, well, why are you asking that? I'm just showing. And there's a big nut and a little nut. And
Are you the big nut and I'm the little nut?
I'm the big nut. Okay.
Hang on, I'm trying to. There it goes. Now I got it.
So now it's just this whole process all over again. This is why engine rebuilding takes a lot of time. It's because it's not just, hey, we got the parts in, let's slap it together. It's like, nope, 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 nope. Got to measure, got to make sure everything fits, right? This is.
You chose fine. I thought that was my fault.
It's my fault, my
I
phone.
was wondering.
Incoming call.
Well, I mean, I know I have friends.
You have a friend. Me. I'm your friend.
Okay, Toy Story.
You got a friend in me.
Aw. Can you sing it for us?
What'd you say?
Can you sing it for us?
Oh. No, we're recording.
Okay.
My wife says I have selective hearing, and that's true. But I never mishear the words nipple. When I hear those, I'm like, huh? Somebody say something? You know, it's like.
I am, actually, now.
You point at me.
I'm also picking your nose.
I need to. It's runny. It's cold in here.
Well, you can't wipe it because you're being.
I know. I'm being a surgeon. So I'm just going to get the washers on there for now because there's so many of them. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to replace these washers.
They're nicely bent.
They are. And I don't know. I have to check and see if I have them because I don't want it to hold me back from finishing the crank today.
Right.
I have no idea how we're going to get this fucking engine off the table now that it's here.
Well, we have the cherry picker.
We have a cherry picker, and I think that's what you're right. It's probably what we're going to have to do.
We say it one more time?
Cherry picker?
No, I'm right. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, you are right.
Okay.
You need me to put that in writing?
No, it's on video.
It's on video, so that's good. It's better than writing.
It is your face with your voice and your.
Nose is runny. We don't have a mic on you, by the way.
I
So
don't.
you're only getting picked up
That's
on my
good.
mic. But that's
I
fine.
didn't say anything interesting.
Yeah, you did. You said nipples.
Oh, you did.
No, I heard, not said. You start pulling on your shirt when
I'm
I
like,
say
wait a minute, is something happening?
no. All right, I got all the
This is
washers. I'm missing two
cool.
big washers. Okay, bye.
Man, this is the best photographer ever. Videographer ever seen.
I know, and it doesn't talk back or anything.
Like this videographer is funny.
It's either me or the Lambo. You have to choose. Bye. I wouldn't even have the sentence out and you'd be leaving. This old workshop manual is saying 88 Newton meters, 88.2 Newton meters for the main journals. It doesn't talk about these small ones here. So I'm going to have to figure out what that's supposed to be based on the width of the bolt. That's usually how you'll do it if you don't have the right specs. All right, so we're going to do it from the middle out in a crisscross pattern. So we're going to do these two, and then we'll come and do these, and then these, and then we'll start working our way out. Okay. Okay, we're going to do the other ones. I'm going to do these, and then I'll come back here, and then I'll do these, and I'll come back here, yada, 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 yada. I'll put you on time lapse. Yeah, 8. So that's an 8mm bolt. Pretty easy to figure out the torque specs on an 8mm. I think it's 22 Newton meters. I'm pretty sure. So that's good. And that's how we roll, kids. Hey. Hey. All right, now that it's all set up and it's torqued down, guess what we got to do? We got to take it all apart now. Yeah, because we got to measure the plastic gauge and hope and pray that it falls within spec. Because then we've got to pivot, and I don't know what that looks like. Leverage. All right, so what you're looking at there is a little bit less than 2/1000ths of an inch of play. That's the clearance right there. Every one of them checked out under 2/1000ths of an inch. And while there's no specific numbers associated with this Jarama, a little Google Foo AI searching, you can get a basic understanding of what the clearances should be on a standard V12 engine and then play around with those numbers. Plastic gauge is not a precise instrument. It's just to get it done and to make sure you're within a certain range. If you really wanted to test this out, we'd have to use micrometers and test everything out with that. And plastic gauge is a tried and true method of getting it done down and dirty, and that's me. I'm down and dirty. All right, so we've got everything checked out. Now I'm going to wipe these journals down, and we're going to permanently lube these suckers up for reassembly. Finally, we're here. Yes! All right, now that the crank is checked out and all the tolerances are correct, it's time to lube up these journals. I've already started because I needed to get the bottom half of the shells lubed up. So I figured the best way to do it is to just lube the top, roll it around nice and slow, because I'm a one-man shop right now and I can't really do that. But I've got to get these in. Okay, not really a one-man shop. Can you lift an 80-pound or 120-pound crankshaft? You can deadlift it. Okay. Well, I need a live lift. Yeah, no. Yeah. It's got to come up and over to this. It's okay. I got it. So now I'm going to put these shells back on, but of course I've got to lube them up and make sure they're clean. I did clean them, but I'll clean them again because I think I missed one. Clearly, look. You can see the plastic gauge still in there, and I want to get that out. So let's get all this cleaned up, and then I'll bring you back when we start putting these journals together. All right, let's try some of this thick stuff from Driven. It's Angeli Assembly grease instead of high viscosity oil. I don't have a whole lot, but I don't need a whole lot with this stuff. I'm going to really give these bearings a once-over. It's very important, obviously. So yeah, you want to slurry this stuff on, right? Make it nice and thick. Make sure the number is pointed in the right direction. And here we go. It's a great feeling. All right, we're back on the Lamborghini, and I finished up the crankshaft as you saw. Now I've got it tipped over so we can start installing the pistons, and you can see right down in there, they're ready to go. But this engine block is not ready to go because just like the crankshaft and the crankshaft journals, this whole thing needs to be spick and span. It needs to be as clean as you can get it. So this will probably take me, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes to clean each bore, clean each journal down there, and then prep the cylinder and then prep the pistons as well, because obviously you just can't slap a piston in there. You got to make sure all of this is clean, get the bearings on, and then you got to clock these rings in the proper orientation. So for example, the top ring here, according to the Italian workshop manual, the top ring should be facing the intake side, so on and so forth. So those are some of the things that I have to worry about. It takes time. I'm gonna mark all these pistons up so we know how they're supposed to go and what orientation, but baby steps are still steps. So let's get going. So I got them all marked. Hey, what? Hey, nothing.
I'm giggle farting over here. Leave me alone.
Giggle farting. Okay.
It's a saying. I didn't actually do that.
So I is intake. That's what I wanted to identify first, and you can tell by the size of the recess on the hemisphere on the Hemi. And according to the workshop manual, the top ring goes straight on the exhaust side. The second oil scraper, or compression ring, I should say, goes on this side, and then your oil is on about 120 degrees, which, yeah, good luck with that. It actually says staggered about 120 degrees apart, which is only one of these, so you can't really stagger anything. It's one ring. So now that I have it all marked up, I know what to do. But when I was looking over these, I had these cleaned. I cleaned them in diesel, and they sat
Did
for
you
a
have to
long
make that
time.
clear? I cleaned them.
Yeah, I had to make sure they knew it was me.
Okay, that you cleaned too?
Because I'm getting ready to, diss my own cleaning, because inside the piston, I don't know if you can see, there's some detritus in there, and I think it's
You
just
do the surgeon doctor clean.
debris. Am I going to have to mute you?
Huh?
So anyway, I'm just going to clean these pistons, and then I'm going to wipe them down one more time with the Kimtex. Make sure I have enough. All right, I'm starting the bore cleaning process using carbon choke cleaner, of course, since it's stronger than brake cleaner. And you want to keep cleaning the bore until it comes back white, right? If you're using a white towel, it should not come back with any of this. If it does, then that basically means that there's still foreign material in there, and you want it to come back without any of that. So keep working on it until it's perfectly clean, and then we'll start the lube process of lubing the bores and the pistons.
Now the soap thing's all dirty.
I was trying to point that out. The things you have to do to get sludge out of an oil sump.
This was it. Did you not see the bucket in the back?
Yeah, that bucket's probably pretty nasty.
Oh, crap. It's probably nasty. It's pretty nasty. I need to switch hands. I got to switch hitter.
Yeah, please.
I got to hit her with the other one.
If that drops, it will be very expensive.
Thank you for letting me know now.
But yeah,
I haven't
Well,
dropped it.
if it
I
says
haven't dropped
Lamborghini on it, it's definitely expensive.
Well, yeah, but I haven't dropped it, but now I know
you're going to. Now you're going to.
really be careful
Yeah,
not to. That's a great thing to tell me. Alyssa, don't drop it. What did I say? Don't tell me to do. Don't tell me to don't do nothing.
It's gonna pop.
Whoa, that's gross.
You used up all the soap in there. The buckets, that little thing is empty.
I'm gonna clean it.
No. I'm saying it's empty, not dirty. That little thing is empty now. See? We got to refill it. All right, I got enough bearings to do 7 pistons, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with this row and then work down this way, and then we'll stop here until we get the bearings for the rest of the block. Waiting to hear back from Lamborghini. They have me on speed dial.
One eternity later.
So it's been months, man. It's been months. So many months have passed that I now have a new assistant who's on the camera. Alyssa, say hi. There you go. You'll see her in my YouTube shorts, and going forward in my long form videos, you'll also get a chance to meet her. But she's been a super big asset to the team and to me especially because she's helping me get all this stuff organized. But
she is thankful that you say these things.
What did I say?
Said that she's thankful that you said these things.
Oh, she said, okay, you said that. But yeah, so here we are. I got the bearings back finally from Lamborghini. They fought me on it. They're saying, you can use those bearings with that. No, you needed new bearings.
No.
No. You need new bearings. So here we are. It's February. The end of February almost, and it's finally happening. I'm finally getting the engine together. But look, I've got 4 of the 12 in. So far, so good. Nothing's broken.
Everything's moving.
Everything's moving.
I see turns.
Yeah.
I see you working.
So I'm just gonna keep on doing this. And I'll put you guys on time lapse so you can see what it takes. But basically, piston ring compressor goes here, piston hammer, bap, bap, bap. All the way in, buckle it in on the other side, boom, 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 you're done. And then start it. That's all you gotta do, just start it.
Shouldn't you be done pretty quickly then?
Yes, yes. It's all about the suppliers, really. Here, give me that phone. Give me that phone. Give me that camera. I'm gonna say hello to you. There she is. She's on camera for the first time on my launch. Actually, the second time, because the Indecent video is out, and so this is the second one. Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Flex
your guns. You gotta flex your guns.
No, I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do is explain.
Yes,
since
please.
I have been here, I do know that you had 2 in.
Yes.
But now we have 4.
Well, now we have 4.
So we've been waiting on the bearings since November.
End of November. It's about right. We got the original bearings in around October. They were trashed. I showed you that in the video,
What
and
are you
here we are.
spinning here? This?
Yeah, so that's the back end of the crank. And
This it?
use the bolts as leverage. Yeah, look at that. There you go, you're doing it. Yes.
Don't tell me, hey. That is what you call it, a 4-cylinder engine.
Cool. That's a 4-cylinder engine right there. Awesome. Yeah, so we're moving along. I'll put you on time lapse. We'll knock this out, and before you know it, I'll have 12 pistons in here, and this thing will weigh 400 pounds, and we won't be able to get it off the table.
Bang, bang, boom.
But that's a problem for another day.
So?
Right? So?
Let's fix it.
Let's fix it. Yes. Well, it's hard to believe, man. I am on the last piston of this years-long, it feels like, project. We're just about done. A little lessons learned on this one. There's so many bearings that I need to make sure that I keep count, because I had to back a couple of them out because I wasn't 100% certain that the bearings were in there. All right, it's finally done after all this time. So now what I want to do is just turn it over and see how it goes. And make sure everything turns. Full rotation. Looks good. Yeah, looks real good, guys. Whew. Yeah, so what an adventure this has been, right? I started working on this, I think, in September, October of 2025. And here we are, February. So what is that, 8 months? I don't know, math. I know there's 12 pistons in there, so that part is the important thing. So, done with this phase of the project of getting the pistons in. Obviously, I gotta get the bottom end in. I've gotta get the cylinder heads on. But this is probably a good place to end this video. I don't even know what month it is that I started this video, but it is February now, 2026. So here we are. We're getting there. What can I say? We got a lot of projects going on here in Yogi's Garage. If you like videos like this, be sure to click that subscribe button if you're not already a member or a subscriber. But we have cars like this. Let me just show you this real quick. For those of you who don't know, I work on Porsche 911s. Look at this Indecent 011. Do a search for Indecent on Instagram, and you're gonna find cars like this. And this one in particular has been at SEMA. And the 014 is the new one they just introduced. It's called the Toyo build, which is sponsored by Toyo Tires. But this is an incredible, incredible build. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Say hi to Alyssa in the comments below. She's my new assistant, she's awesome. I'm gonna wrap it up and go home. It's Friday, I'm gonna get some tequila, get this video compiled and send it. All right, thanks for watching Yogi's Garage. We'll see you next time.